It is Saturday the 16th of November. We are at the Duke of Marlborough, out in Ipswich. We are here in, I don't know if you can see, it's tracking my face, which is horrible. So you're never going to be able to, we're at a fancy hotel, basically, out here. I've come out with my lovely partner. We've decided to make a weekend of it. Ipswich is, for me, a top tier sort of place in terms of feedback. So I've always had a fucking great time here. But I just said I was leaving Holly. You know, imagine we've just spent this nice weekend on I eat shit. You know, sometimes that's kind of what it is. You know, every gig can't be this big, massive day, weekend, everything built around it. You know what I mean? Regular life has to carry on, and then hopefully get to a point where you're proficient enough to just do a decent job. I tend to get good feedback here. I feel good about it. I feel like, part of me thinks, well, I am, I'm kind of at my end of the year in terms of trying to really think of new stuff and just comedy out, I think. So I could, the good thing is I can just go back to the old 10-minute set if I wanted to, mix in a few things. That's kind of where I'm at now. And what seems to be working well, actually, where I'm just being a bit more playful up there. It's not as much meticulous work towards the punchlines, but just using what I've got, mixing it up and just trying to have a good fucking time, to be honest. Yeah. God, this camera is crazy. It's weird. I don't know how this vlog is going to come out with the camera, because I can see myself and it kind of tracks me. I'm moving around, but you're not seeing it really, which is fantastic. This vlog's not really a comedy one. It's more just me looking at myself in the camera, hoping it turns out all right. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Gifted Melon Comedy, where the headliner is the wonderful Louis Green, who runs Glass Eye Comedy. So those are the two places I've come out in Ipswich, and are both are fucking fantastic gigs. This one is just outside of Ipswich, which we have not done before. So hopefully we'll have a good time. In the winter seasons. I've been in a spa today. Lovely sauna and steam room. That's why I'm looking great. Just chilling out this afternoon, and then hopefully we'll have a good one. And let me know if you like this new camera, boy. I'm trying to I'm going to try and hopefully build a better quality for the vlog next year. I've got some ideas around what I want to do and the OEM. So, I know people say like and subscribe. I guess you've got to do that. Comment if you want. And just be part of what we're trying to do here in terms of our growth. Because as a stand-up comic, you need fans for me to have a living, right? People say we like the support. The reason we want the support is because we want your money. So I don't have to do a fucking 9 to 5 anymore. So yeah, that is where we're at. And hopefully we'll enjoy ourselves.
Because Chris really wanted to come out and make a big weekend of it. So give him all the love in the world. It's Chris Alley!
My people, you alright? Yeah. Don't be afraid, I am black. Tends to happen when you're from London, apparently. But it's nice to be here, actually, which is the actual truth of the matter, because originally I thought this gig was going to be in Ipswich, and thank God it ain't, because I've been to Ipswich a few times, right? And look, it's not Ipswich, it's me. Because I'm like a weed guy, right? That's my thing. And Ipswich gives me like cocaine vibes. You know what I mean? It's the kind of place where you see more people than teeth in the city. That's a good joke. Come on now. Thank you very much. I did drive up here though, because usually I get the train from London to Ipswich, and I stopped doing it though because there was all these delays. Like the last time I went there, apparently a 3-year-old child got chucked on the tracks. I know, they called it a minor delay. That's the shit joke out the way. That's the black stuff. No. Can I actually ask though, right? Because I'm not sure. I am from London, right? And is this a village? Yeah. It's a village, right? Because like London terms, that's not true, right? It's just a road. Ipswich is a town, right? Colchester is a village. This is a road, right? Because it takes me longer to get to my local McDonald's than it does from one end to the other. This pub's on Main Road, isn't it? It should be called just one road. Yeah. I said road too much. That's fine. But I work for the NHS. Yes, that was a lie. I just need a strong start. No, but I got a new job recently, right? I've got 4 now. You know, comedy does not pay. It's all crime. But that is a story for another day, which is December 17th. It's my court date. Nightmare. Do you know what, though? We had some, loads of celebrities have died in the news recently, innit? Really sad stuff. Like we had Maggie Smith. That was a sad one for me. The one that really got me was James L. Jones. Do you know James L. Jones? He's like one of the greatest African American actors of all time, innit? He was in Coming to America, which is a famous movie. I don't know if anyone knows this, right? Because it's like common knowledge. I just found out. Did you know that James L. Jones was the voice of Darth Vader in Star Wars? Right? Hate Star Wars, I'll be honest. Because, not because he's in it, I love him, but because basically when you strip it back, right, Star Wars is about a young white boy and his estranged father. And they still made that man black. You know, outrageous. But I started stand-up comedy just over 2.5 years ago, right? And you know, it's crazy to think because back then, you know, I actually had hope. But it's been going all right. You know, it's been going pretty well. Been getting some good feedback here and there. Obviously not here. You know, should have went to fucking Ipswich. Fuck me. But the thing is, right, people have been coming up to me after gigs and saying, Chris, I really like your comedy, but it's just a bit too black. I know, like, what am I supposed to do? Joke like I'm a white person? You know, I don't like skiing. You know, what even is a quiche? Eggy bread in my house. You know? I remember the first time someone came up to me after a gig and told me my comedy was too black. I almost spat the fried chicken out my mouth. Too black, do you know what I mean? But I grew up a fat kid, and then I became a fat adult. I'll be honest, I did not see that coming. Like, because when you're a fat kid, right, all people tell you is that you'll grow out of it. Grow out of it? I fucking grew around it. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, when I tell people I'm fat, they're like, oh, you're not fat, Chris. And I think that's the worst level of fat to be, when no one notices. You know? Like, because I want to be recognised as being fat, and I work hard for that shit, right? You know what I mean? Like, because of things like being late, innit? Like, because as a black person, when you're late, you get worried because people are going to judge you for being late because you're black. But when you're fat and late, people understand. They do. Like, it's confusing, isn't it? People are much more understanding with fat people. You know, and they are. They are, because like, apparently, like, being... I know I'm fat, right? Because when I walk out in the street, people call me big man. You know? I'm 5'8". And apparently, according to the BMI scale, the body mass index, I'm clinically obese. So that just tells you I'm fat. Or I'm just short for my weight. No idea. But people are much understand about fat people. They're much more understanding. Because things like disability, right? Because apparently obesity is a disability. That's what people are trying to say. I mean, like, if obesity is a disability, then why don't you get fat people in the Paralympics? Right? I mean, it's not even that hard. Sumo wrestling is right there, you know? You could just have a pieing contest if you want to, right? You can't do hurdles. Swimming would be great, but no, that's... I'm shocked. I'm just trying to work on something. Thank you for acknowledging the fact that it's just offensive, it's not funny. Do people know who Joe Wicks is? Yeah? For those that don't know, right, Joe Wicks is this man who got famous during the pandemic, right, for teaching the kids of this nation how to get fit, healthy, and talk English poorly. Right? He got some trouble recently, right, because he put out this tweet that said the reason why there's a rise in ADHD in young kids is because of processed food, which is obviously absolute nonsense. We can all agree it was the COVID vaccine. You know? But people are much meaner about fat people when I was a kid, boy. Back then you could call a pig a pig. Like, they used to have this show, You Are What You Eat. You know that show with someone called Gillian McKeith, who was this like 90-year-old Scottish woman who used to use pseudoscience and scare tactics into people getting thin. I mean, it was absolutely shocking. There was one episode, she had a family of 4, right? 2 young kids. Took them out to their garden, dug up a grave and said, you carry on eating like that, you'll end up in it, you know? Which, with a Scottish accent, is just straight threatening. You know what I mean? But you know what, I realised as an adult, the best way to watch that show is just put it on mute and get high. You know? Because like, at the beginning of every episode, she puts out this massive table full of food, right? For trying to shame them or something. Put that mute, put it on high, but I'm just sitting there being like, ooh, that is a bitch for me, boys. You could put on a feast. Get me on that show. We got any football fans in the house? Yes, I'm a big football fan, me. Big football fan, you know. Trying to become a medium-sized football fan, you know. But still holding on to that Christmas weight since I was 12. But you might have heard about this, right? The Premier League released this list of the most influential black people in football, right? So you know really good stuff. There's players like Rashford and Saka, and the other one that missed. Yeah. Guess what they called it? They called it the blacklist. I know. I get it, you're trying to recognise black people, but calling the list of black excellence a blacklist is almost as bad as putting an all-black political party together and calling that party slave labour. Yeah, Diane Abbott, Chuka Moonard, the other one that missed. You know, the thing is, right, outside of it being massively offensive, I just think it lacks creativity. Like, what is idiots going to come up with next? The most influential Slovakians in football? I call it the checklist. Outrageous, isn't it? Just give me a cheer or something. Did anyone in here grow up with like a bit of an annoying dad?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Is he here or something? What are you saying? I was going to say, yeah, No, you grew up with a dad, right? Must be nice. No, I grew up with not really, I know, I didn't grow up with one either. But I grew up with a single mum, innit? Wonderful single mum. You know, growing up, she did all the things a dad would do, you know, go and play football. She talks about girls, what she calls slags, you know. She even taught me how to shave. Yeah. So I'll get between those legs, but you know. Come on, man, you know, we've all done it, no? No, all right, just me. I'm the good son in the room, clearly. Yeah, but something else about me is I grew up with a twin brother. So it's so nice to meet me twice. As my mum likes to say, 2 mistakes for the price of 1. Silly bitch. Someone's like, oh, you know, you don't know her. You know, I don't care if she's got cancer. It's true. It's not even funny. It's funny because it's true. But the thing is, right, when people see my twin brother together, they say I look exactly like him, which really pisses me off because I think he's ugly. Yeah. I don't know. But the thing is, right, my twin brother's gay. Right, you know, and he came out when he was 18 years old, you know, which is great. You know, he was telling friends and family. The only problem I have is I'm a big homophobe. You know? Big homophobe, yeah. Trying to become a medium-sized homophobe, you know. Joke didn't work the first time, don't work the second time. Obviously, I'm not a homophobe. I used to bath naked with a gay guy. I'll just let that one sit. The thing is, right, when my twin brother came out as gay, right, it really wasn't a surprise, you know, because like all the signs were there, right? We grew up together. We used to play games. The game my gay twin brother always wanted to play was Doctors and Nurses. You know, the game where you play different characters in the hospital. Guess who my gay twin brother always wanted to be? It was Beyonce. Always the wrist issue. I don't know, something about that or other. But I'll leave you with this, right, because I've got a train to run in front of. I've been trying to lose some weight recently, right, and I started shopping at Whole Foods, right, and you know, people are much nicer there. You get into these conversations, and long story short, I got into this conversation with this vegan about self-identification, and apparently me calling myself black is actually a self-identifying preference. I'll be honest, I got no clue what they then was talking about. You see, because like all my life I thought I was born black. I didn't realise it was a preference. Like if it was a preference, I'd have one of those big black dicks, you know what I'm saying? Bah! You know what I mean? Like, probably like the rock and shit. You know? My jump looks like 3 new potatoes just huddled together. And on that image, you know, you guys have been absolutely wonderful. I've absolutely loved it here. I do like Ipswich, by the way. Great town. And you guys have been absolutely wonderful. I've been Chris Alley. Thank you very much.
That's Chris Alley, everybody.
God, I'm still getting used to this fucking camera. I don't know what to do. It's like I'm moving a... It's going to be a terrible vlog. Good set overall. I'm doing this like 2 days later. It's harder not to do on my phone. I've got to carry this really expensive bit of equipment and I'm looking right at it, which is hard. Good gig. I don't really know how to take it, to be honest. It was a really fun gig. Really enjoyed it. It was more like the entire weekend was really fun, to be fair. Um, and I think one of the things I found with this gig wasn't like directly in Ipswich, right? It was in a town or little village just outside Somersham, and I still haven't quite got to the point where I can do well or feel like I've done amazingly well in some of these village gigs. And I don't know if it's me or if it's just the circumstance of those kind of gigs. You know, it's a bit tough because I guess to some degree I've sort of raised the standards of what I expect from a performance from both ends, really, because it is a bit of a relationship. It's like a social negotiation, and to go into these situations and sort of put your best foot forward and feel like, all right, this wasn't an absolute murdering. I think realistically, you can't murder every time, and obviously, the last few vlogs I've done pretty well. Um, so I kind of just have to take it for what it is. I mean, it was nice. It was a really fun gig. My girlfriend said that it was really, really good. I got some compliments afterwards. So, the general kind of stuff. I think the hardest thing to contend with is to feel like you've done less than what you're capable of, which I hope it doesn't come across as some kind of arrogance. It's just, you know, maybe there is, it's not like, I know I analogize a lot around sports, but it isn't necessarily a case of just winning and losing. I also talk about the idea of like some gigs are kind of like workmanlike, and traveling and being able to spend the weekend away with someone and have all of that go on, and then go to this gig and not feel like my entire weekend or my entire day is taken up by my thoughts around doing a gig is probably the biggest takeaway from something like this, actually, because I was super chilled, went to a spa, really nice meal beforehand, and then kind of rocked up to this gig, and didn't think, oh, I'm just going to mail it in. I still kind of tried to put my best effort in, as much as I could muster. But you know it was a decent gig. We'll give it a 7 out of 10. Right, maybe that's the best way to start doing it. Scoring out of 10 or something. Yeah, 7 out of 10. We'll call that. But decent. Hopefully, this new camera will be okay, and my forehead doesn't look bigger or shinier through it. But for fucking Jesus Christ, this camera's a bad idea. Yeah, all right. We are. The next one should be actually the big OM that I'm putting on, which this vlog will be way, way after. That has been stressing me out and has really dominated my mind. So I'm looking forward to getting that shit out of the way. But yeah, it was a decent one, decent weekend, and on to the next one.